In Burlington, Ontario, woke up this morning to a huge mess after a wild night of flash flooding. The amount of rain was astonishing. 2 months' worth fell in a matter of hours. That trapped people in cars. It flooded hundreds of homes. Eric Sorensen has more on the deluge and the damage.
It's an old saying, don't like the weather in southern Ontario? Wait a few minutes. Storm clouds crisscrossed the Toronto lakefront last night, but the epicenter of the storms were down the road at the western end of Lake Ontario, Burlington. 6 weeks of rain fell in 6 hours. Even major highways were swamped. Good luck driving through it.
It just stalled right in the water. Just stopped dead. And then we all stopped and it just became a mess.
Neighborhoods were deluged. Streets, yards, basements.
The water was gushing out of this drain, and then it filled this crawl space to about 4 feet high.
I don't think I'd be out of line if I said there was well over 500 basements that were flooded across the city last night.
The sharp change in weather sparked thunderstorms. 4 members of one family were all hit by one flash of lightning.
The lightning struck on the tree and it hit them, and then they were just down.
All were taken to hospital and were in stable condition. It was that kind of night.
I've never seen this in my whole life, but this is awful.
Why does this part of the country get this kind of weather? It's the effect of the Great Lakes. The summer heat builds up over southern Ontario this time of year and clashes with the cool winds off Lake Ontario.
It's not a coincidence that this happened right next to Lake Ontario.
Meteorologists knew rain was coming, but where exactly? There was no sign of it even an hour beforehand.
High rainfalls were the risk, but pinpointing where those heavy rainfalls are going to happen remains even today a big challenge.
For homeowners, water is the big threat nowadays. Fire can still burn a home, but an entire neighborhood can flood in minutes.
Water is the new fire. Water damage has overtaken fire damage as the greatest cause of loss for homeowners and insurance.
Losses from weather damage is mounting. Insurers paid out more than $3 billion to help homeowners recover last year.
I've never seen it in real life, and when you see it, and it's very, very upsetting. It's going to take a long time to clean everything up, and you carry on.
Summertime in southern Ontario, when people keep an eye on the sky, because the weather will change, and it will change quickly. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
The scale of an environmental disaster in British Columbia is becoming clear tonight. A massive tailings pond full of toxic heavy metals has burst its banks. This is the result. Toxic sludge, about 2,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth, is cascading through central BC's pristine waterways. It's effluent from a copper and gold mine, which dumped 38,000 kilograms of lead into the tailings pond last year, plus 84,000 kilograms of arsenic and 560 kilograms of mercury. The question now is, where will all of that end up? It has already flowed into 2 nearby lakes. People who live there and all the way up the Quesnel and Caribou Rivers, too, have been warned not to drink the water. The Quesnel is a major tributary of the Fraser River, BC's largest, and authorities are now testing the water right across the region. Global BC's John Daly is near that tailings pond. John, this is a serious breach. How are authorities responding to it?
Well, that, Donna, is the key question here, because the locals around Quesnel Lake, and this is Quesnel Lake, which is about 2,000 feet deep. It's the deepest fjord lake in all of North America, and it's a pristine waterway. It flows into the Quesnel River, and it's a salmon-bearing lake, and unfortunately there's already debris from this big spill, this big tailings pond spill right here in this lake. You can't even touch the water, let alone drink it. So the locals here are demanding answers from the mining company. Mount Polley Mines has issued a statement. They say that the spill is contained. Really what that means is that most of it is still at the Hazeltine Creek, but some of it is obviously downstream. And as we know, as you said, arsenic, other dangerous chemicals, mercury, heavy metals, could be in this water. So everybody's waiting to hear what are the results of the water tests. In the meantime, people who run the tourist business here are really beside themselves.
Very hard for me to just to look out at this water and see all this stuff that's, you know, coming down here now, and you have no idea what's in it.
Imperial accepts that it's our responsibility to put this right. and we will work diligently to do so. Our first priority was and continues to be the health and safety of our employees and our neighbors. So we have to work hard to make sure we don't hurt anyone.
John, what a blow for people there, and so concerned about the long-term effects of this too. What are they being told about their own safety in the immediate term?
Well, the bottom line is don't drink any of the water, don't touch the water, don't get the water on your boats if you possibly can pull your boats out of the water. That's how bad it is. But everybody's waiting for the results of the water test. The BC Environment Ministry has been out on the lake, they've done the sampling, but it can take days to get a proper assay from those water samples. So unfortunately, it looks like it's at least another couple of days when no one will be able to drink or use the water. Donna?
All right, John Daly near likely